Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and thank you for joining me for your San Ramon Valley update for the week of March 25th, 2024. As we get into the update, I just wanted to touch on, because you know the number one question I'm being asked right now, everyone's reading the paper about this National Association of Realtors lawsuit and the settlement. First, what I want you to understand is nothing has been finalized. This is what was put out there. It still hasn't been put in cement yet, and it will, and I will definitely keep you up to date. But just a couple things I want you to understand. There's a lot of fake news coming out there right now. For instance, I heard President Biden the other day says, well, now this will be the end of the 6% commission. Well, first off, there hasn't been really 6% commission for years and years. You know, I mean, and the other thing he said is commissions are now negotiable. Well, as long as I've known, we had to always put big print in our agreements that commission was negotiable, and it wasn't always 6%. It's in most cases it was 5%, 5.5% are in that, you know, in that mode. So again, you know, if you have any questions, reach out, but don't listen to the fake news out there. The other thing is the fact that buyer's agents aren't going to get paid. That's not true either. What they're talking about right now, which of course could change, is the fact that we can't offer a buyer compensation in the multiple listing service. So what is most likely to happen, really things aren't going to change a whole lot. What's going to happen is the buyer is going to get paid basically through the back door instead of the front door. So normally if I'm charging a 5% commission, then I offer through the MLS, hey, buyer's agent, you bring your buyer and I'll give you half of that 2.5%. Well, we're not going to be able to offer compensation anymore to the buyer's agent in the MLS the way it looks right now. So what will happen is I'll negotiate a fee with the seller, who needs to know, 2.5%, 3.5%, whatever it is. And then the buyer's agent, the way the buyer's agent is going to get paid, and this is probably the way it's going to float out, in the remarks, there's going to be something like the seller is going to say, I will credit such and such amount to the buyer to pay his agent. That's going to be one way the buyer's agents are going to get paid. The other way the buyer's agents are going to get paid, because you're now going to be mandated to sign a buyer-broker agreement. And so the buyer's agents, with their offer, is going to say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, will you pay me 2.5% or whatever? So there's two ways that they're going to get paid. One is the seller is just going to pay them directly, because they're going to ask for payment when they submit the offer, or the seller is going to pay their buyer, and the buyer will be able to pay the agent. So again, you'll see a lot of things pop up, and there might be some commission compression on the buyer side, because if there's multiple offers on a property and one buyer is asking for, buyer's agent's asking for 1.5% and one's asking for 2.5%, and the 2.5% offer is better, I might have to go back and say, hey, were you willing to do it for 1.5%, or are you willing to have your buyers pay more for the property? So the buyer's agents are going to get paid. It's just going to be a little twist on the way it happens. But understand, people still want representation. In my 46 years in the business, I've seen all these help you sell companies and everything come and go, you know, and I'll tell you, they never last, because people want representation. So again, you know, don't just read the paper. Call your real estate professional, call myself, because confusion leads to fear, fear leads to panic, and panic leads to paralysis. So that's basically what happened. Look at this. People were asked, which of the following statements do you agree with most? One is, when you buy a home, you should definitely have someone who represents your interest during the whole process. 76%. 24%, no, I think I can do it on my own. So the vast majority of clients still want to be represented, because this is the most important financial decision most people will make in their lifetime, and they want that expert with them. Now, I will tell you, this is one thing that's going to change, and this is what I'm telling my team and my agents, is the fact that you have to show value, because now in some cases, if the buyer is paying you directly, you have to be an asset and a resource to that person. So I actually look at it as a good thing, because number one, it's going to step up the level of service for the consumer that the consumer deserves. We've always done that on the Kehrig team, but it's not done through the industry. So in a couple different ways, it's going to be great. You're going to get paid for your value now that you bring to the table. So also, when you look at this, 91% of the people of respondents agree it would be very stressful to navigate the home buying process without a real estate agent or broker, and 87% that they believe a real estate agent or broker is an essential trusted advisor to a home buyer. So again, people still need professional real estate professionals that are an asset and a resource to them to guide them through a very complex process. You know, I remember there were some companies out there saying, hey, come to us alone, you don't have to have an agent, and it completely flopped. Because even 92% of millennials who basically can navigate through the internet no problem and find their own home, 92% use a real estate professional. That's how important they feel it is. So again, let's drive into our San Ramon market update. You can see in San Ramon, it really doesn't look great if you're a buyer in San Ramon. Active properties are down. Look how pending properties shot up. San Ramon, because we have a lot of professional people coming from San Jose, Fremont, is one of the most active markets out there, and you see it right here along with Dublin. You'll see also. You see the Danville market, actives are up a little bit, but so are our pendings. Still a very, very strong market. Alamo, pendings up, actives down just a little bit. And of course, Dublin, you'll see pendings up, actives are up. Again, a very active market. We are getting multiple offers on most of our properties, but as I had mentioned to you guys before, it's funny, in 46 years of professionally selling real estate, it's really an oddity right now because we look at it and we see 5 listings that got multiple offers and we got 5 listings that did price reductions. Because again, and people go, geez, what's going on? Because normally the market's really good or it's not good, you know, across the board. The difference is the fact when interest rates were 3%, people would buy anything, even overpriced homes that needed a lot of work. The difference now at 6.5%, 7%, people aren't willing to overpay for homes. They can't afford to. And they can't afford to buy a home that they have to put a lot of money into it unless it's priced very, very low. So again, if it's a nice property, shows well, good area, priced right, it's going to get multiple offers in this market because as you can see, we are so short on inventory out there. Now, hopefully as we get to summer, we will get a little bit more inventory, but what they're talking about is maybe interest rates coming down a little bit, which will, yeah, we might get a little bit more supply, but the demand's going to pick up too as interest rates go down. You can see we're well over 100% of asking price. We're getting up there around 108% in some cases. So it just shows you how active the market is right now, and the majority of homes that are selling far over asking price. Understand, everyone's home's a little bit different, and when you have homes that are doing price reductions and homes getting multiple offers, that's when you really do need a real estate professional that can be an asset and a resource, because the difference between just listing your home and getting 1 offer or getting 3 or 4 offers is probably $100,000 in your pocket. So if you have any questions, give me a call, Joe Kehrig, the Kehrig Real Estate Team, 925-487-6838, or drop me an email, joe@kehrigteam.com, or visit our website to learn a little bit more about us, www.kehrigteam.com. Thanks a lot for joining me today. We'll see you next week.